can I ask? I mean, maybe I'm way off here, but Lewisham, for all of our viewers, and we
Yeah.
have a lot of international viewers, they may not know the demographic of Lewisham. I mean, Lewisham is an area in London which I suppose they would call a deprived area.
Yeah.
It's a very working class area. Socioeconomically, it's probably an area which is struggling.
Yeah.
Lots of school attainment is probably poorer in Lewisham. Especially now with the cost of living crisis, you would have a lot of poverty and food banks and these sorts of things in Lewisham. So has that troubled background, is that background context, does that play a part in these people embracing Islam? Like they've got lives which are very chaotic and problematic, and they see Islam as being a better way of living for them.
So I think it's difficult to generalize, and I don't want to come across as knowing the answer to the question really, because I think it would require maybe some research, actually surveying, but perhaps there is an element of that, but I don't think it's the main kind of reason. And I think so. For example, if you look at Cambridge Central Mosque, I think they're having an uptake of individuals coming to Islam as well, and you can see that's a different demographic.
Very middle class.
Exactly. And so I think it's more the fact now that there's a new generation of Muslims who are very confident in their Islam, and maybe they don't have this mentality, where it's like we're guests here, so it's like they live their Islam and they see that as their right, and they see that as their identity. Like, I'm a Muslim, I'm British, yes, but I'm a Muslim first. And so living that and having that confidence, I think, is exposing everyone else to Islam. Although there was a young lady, she came to the masjid, and she said she wanted to become Muslim. So I went out and spoke to her, and I asked her, what is it that's like brought you to the masjid? And she said, when I walk past the mosque, I see the love and the like everyone's hugging each other, and I was walking towards my car 2 Fridays ago, roughly, or 3 Fridays ago, and there was he looked homeless, to be honest, and he looked like he was slightly drunk. I mean, he had a can of beer in his hand, and I was like walking fast, so I startled him. Like, he jumped and turned around and like grabbed his chest. So I apologized, and we started speaking, and he said, oh, you from the mosque? I said, yeah. And he said, you know what, there's a real positive energy that I get from that place. Whenever I walk past, I see everyone together and shaking hands and hugging. After Jum'ah, that's what they're going to see. And so, for them, like, sometimes we forget what society has become, because as Muslims, we live in a bubble. The concept of brotherhood, the concept of sisterhood, the love that's shared between Muslims, it's very easy to forget that non-Muslims don't have this, especially with the breakdown of societal relationships, and people are becoming more and more isolated. So people are living by themselves. They're not seeing their children. They're not seeing their parents. They're not seeing their siblings. And so when they see all of these people, especially when you see people that are of different colors, different shades of the same color, you've got different ethnicities, and they're hugging and embracing and laughing and smiling, that itself is like a real powerful image. It draws people to that kind of environment, and they ask what's going on here. And so when they see that, oh, this is a masjid, this is a mosque, that inquisitiveness, they want to step inside, they want to have a look, they might want to speak to someone, and so slowly but surely you find that if they don't become a Muslim, they quickly become a friend of the Muslims through that lived experience.